Dato, what I mean, Cempakans. We are very fortunate this morning to have with us Mr. Denis Halliday, the former Assistant Secretary General of United Nations. Mr. Halliday is a distinguished international civil servant. He is well known internationally for the job that he has done on behalf of the United Nations all over the world, particularly in Southeast Asia and in the Middle East. Mr. Halliday is also well known and respected for the very principled stand that he takes on many important issues concerning the United Nations and world peace. In fact, he is perhaps the only highly principled international civil servant who did not agree with the American invasion of Iraq and took a very principled stand on it and resigned from his post in the United Nations. He is widely respected for that, and he's here in Kuala Lumpur to participate in the Perdana initiative on world peace and to criminalize war. Mr. Denis Halliday was educated at Trinity College, Dublin, where he took an MA in economics. And on a personal level, I'm delighted to have Mr. Halliday with us because Denis and I were classmates for 4 years at Trinity. And when we graduated, I went to Oxford and joined the Malaysian Diplomatic Service. And Denis went on to join the United Nations, served very distinguished Secretaries General, including Kofi Annan, in the UN, and he's here today to share some thoughts with all of us. This is a very special occasion, and I would like to thank Denis for taking the morning off to come and be with us. Thank you.
Terima kasih. Well, selamat pagi, everybody. It's really wonderful to be here, and I want to thank Dato Hamzah, who has said that he's an old school friend of mine. Can you hear me? And we were just reminiscing about how is it possible we went to university 50 years ago. It just seems indecent, but you can see that we're still young at heart. And to Dato Frida, thank you very much for inviting me here. I'm really honored to be here and excited to be here and more nervous to be here than I have been speaking to the General Assembly in New York, because you're all young and sharp and you're awake, which isn't always the case in the General Assembly. And this is let's be honest, this is a good way to start Monday morning. It's a change from what might normally happen, which would be, I guess, going to class. So something different is always welcome, as I recall when I was your age, which is, of course, some time ago. So I'm delighted to be here. It's a great way to start my week, which is going to be short because I'm leaving tonight to fly back to Ireland and then to New York the week after that. But I'm genuinely honored to be here at this very special school. I just came in now, and it's a superb establishment, lovely infrastructure, your playing fields, sort of place I would have been very happy to have gone to school myself. And although I'm feeling a little intimidated by the sheer numbers of you, I see you're all good looking, and I understand you're all brilliant, and of course I understand you're all above average, which mathematically may be difficult, but nevertheless it's undoubtedly true. Well, Tun Mahathir Mohamad and Tun Siti also. I spoke to both of them last night, the night before, actually Saturday night, to say I was coming here and how honored I was to have been invited to come here and speak with you, because they, like I, believe that Pradhana, the concept, the philosophy of Pradhana, the concept of peace, and that war is unacceptable, unworkable, doesn't yield the results desired, and does terrible damage to young people and their homes and their families and their lives and their futures, has got to be turned into something different. And something different is making warfare not fun, it's not glory. There's no glory, there are no heroes. There are only people who lose their lives and lose what's important. And war, in fact, is a crime. And that's what we're trying to get across. It's going to be difficult because that's not the common view often. People grow up thinking war is something wonderful and something to be enhanced and glorified. And I'm going to try to change your thinking. And then you will think for yourself, of course, and make up your own minds what is important to you and maybe your families and your situation in your extraordinary country that is Malaysia. So criminalization of war, which is a slightly difficult, term to get across, is in fact just about making war into something that is criminal. And I'll explain the philosophy as in a little bit later. But before that, I wanted to say that one of the reasons I'm excited to be here is because you are young people. And you know, old people like me, I'm afraid, and I apologize, that we have made a horrible mess of things. And when you look around the world today, whether it's the Middle East, or it's North Korea, or it's Africa, or it's other parts of this globe of ours, we have got so many problems, and so much tragedy, and so many young children who are not at school, like you, don't even learn to read and write. So every day you should think of the opportunity you've been given, and the value added of being at an extraordinary place like this. There's nothing more valuable than education. And you are the young people of this extraordinary country, which is Malaysia. Here you are in the ASEAN group. Here you are in Asia, 56% of the world's population, the most healthy and dynamic part of the entire globe. You are part of a huge potential future, much realized, but still a potential is there to be developed and tapped and grown. And the world needs people like you. We need people like you with this background, whatever faith, whatever ethnic group you may come from, belong to. That's good. A mix is good. We all need to come from all over the place. And we need to get a world that is more reflective of all of us. There's not a north-south, there's not a Christian world or an Islamic world or a Hindu or any other world. It's a world of all of us. And it's the all of us factor that makes this world a better and stronger place. And, you know, you are, in my view, the most important people on earth. I'm not saying that just to make you feel good on Monday morning, but young people, young Malaysians, you are amongst the most important people on earth. Now, of course, to be important and to make an important difference and make a difference in your lives, in your family, and in the world, you have to study, you have to work hard, and I'm sure you do. As we discussed at the beginning, you are special people, all above average. But it's important. Maybe just somewhere, so in case I desperately need it. Somewhere on the floors. Thank you very much. As I was saying, where the difference begins, where you can make a difference, begins at home. And all of you have families and loved ones and friends and neighbors in a community here in Malaysia, which can be complex and difficult sometimes and strained and can work well and then have hiccups. So the way to test your future and to test your capacity for making things work and making a difference in the world is to start close to home, within your own family, your siblings, your parents, to in your community. I'm sure you are into community affairs and community issues. That's really important. Thank you very much. And if we can't, work in our own immediate community at home, we're not likely to do too well overseas in the bigger area. Now, some of you, will come out of here, and some of you will be teachers. And frankly, there is no more important profession than teaching.